La Máquina Deportiva, la factoría a nivel mundial de los deportes.
Got to New York.
Oh, yeah, I'm rolling in here.
How was the
What you guys
graduation?
ready yesterday? Wednesday was pretty awesome. That was a great. Morgan, before you my daughter. So, a little late today. We'll come back.
How was the off day?
It was quiet. Quiet off day in the city, which was actually nice. We had a full day and a half off, which for whatever reason it felt like we needed it. I know we've won a couple series in a row, and usually you want to keep playing, but we'll take the rest and reset.
We scored today, Casey tomorrow. Both of them have struggled against right-handed hitters. Both of them have talked about needing to pitch in, and I would think, correct me if I'm wrong, but against this lineup, especially Judge and Stanton, those guys, that's kind of paramount for success in this
Yeah, I mean, generally speaking, being unpredictable is more important than any sort of one characteristic of pitching in or pitching away. You do give yourself, it's been that way for forever in our sport. If you make somebody uncomfortable by pitching in, it opens up a lot of avenues to get guys out. So you do have to be careful against this team that you don't live one way or the other. So they're different pitchers. They're going to have different attack plans, but I'd start with strike one and go from there.
It seems like Reese has had some respectable numbers and he doesn't have any wins to show for it. Could you talk about his season he's had?
Yeah, he's been good. You know, I mean, wins are a byproduct of a lot of things, especially for pitchers. So, you know, for him, he comes out and gives us a chance to win every game, almost virtually every game. So I have a lot of faith and trust that he's going to be in the strike zone. He's going to miss enough bats, and he's going to, you know, going to keep the team's offense under control for the most part. So we haven't swung the bats great when he's been on the mound for him, but that does not take away a win total for a pitcher. Doesn't indicate how he's pitched, because he's given us every chance to win when he pitches.
We saw that Jackson Jobe had to leave his last start, just 7-day IL. Is there anything more to that, or what you got?
No, I mean we'll end up having a minor league report, you know, when they compile those a little bit. But I saw it just like you did and followed up with it. And this is about, just a general comment on injuries. This is a time of year where things start to creep up a little bit after guys get up and running and they get into their different routines, and then sometimes it takes them off the field. So he's one of them. We've had a number of injuries throughout the organization, but generally, knock on wood, have been pretty healthy.
Generally, with the hitting so far, not individual persons, the numbers are showing that you guys have been hitting the fastball really well, which was the problem going in the last couple of years. And off speed is what I said. Is that anything you look at in a general sense, just to see where, you know, where you need to get better at?
I think as a team, those are interesting takeaways. But it's more about each individual guy. So every time a guy goes up to bat, it's a pretty big competition between him and the pitcher, and they're not going to attack your team; they're attacking that one individual. So you're going to have to cover it all at this game, if it's at this level. As soon as you demonstrate that you can do one thing, the league's going to adjust and do something different. So we look at it on an individual basis much more than we do any sort of team concept, because if they out of 9 hitters, the chances of all of them having the same strength and the same weakness is pretty small.
With Colt batting fifth today, is that a sign of how well you think he's swinging at the last few games?
A little bit, yeah. He's earned some at bats. I want to get as many lefties in against Stroh as I can. He's been, he struggled a little bit against lefties this year. In previous years, he's been very good against them. So the construction of the they have 2 left-handed relievers. Veerling's on the bench, so there's a lot there. Colt has swung the bat much better than his scoreboard numbers indicate. He's not going to feel that until he starts mixing in more hits, but it's a good weekend to start.
What has been the most pleasant surprise so far? I realize that the season's young, but what is the most pleasant surprise?
I don't know about surprises. I mean, I know this team pretty well, and we have pretty high expectations for ourselves internally. So to be surprised, you have to admit that you didn't expect something. So I think for us, we've been very narrow focused on the things that we can control. I've been very happy with that. Not surprised because I know the DNA of the team, but I think this team's ability to focus on the series at hand and nothing greater than that has been a welcome trait.
Were you surprised that when Casey wanted somebody to track pitches in the right-handed batter's box, it was Andy that stepped up this?
Not in the least bit. Yeah, Andy leads the league in that category for sure. I'll put him up against any player in the big leagues right now as far as seeing the most pitches in a bullpen setting. And there's probably a sizable gap between him and the second place guy.
What would your reaction be if a pitcher comes in? Look, I want to work on right-handed hitters coming up and in on him. Would you stand in?
No, I'm not letting him take one shot at me. I take him out of games for part of my job description, so they're not getting any shots at me in any sort of inter squad or any sort of bullpen session.
Not going to be the hitting.
No doubt.
Not the plastic one.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, any update on Priscilla?
No, he's with us. He's going to do all team activity. That's the only update. And he's progressing nicely. You know, he's got very little limitations when it comes to the baseball work. So he's on the road trip because he's doing that baseball work, and we'll give him more and more as the road trip progresses.
Si te quieres olvidar, en mi tren debes